The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Mysteries abound when it comes to life inside the Playboy Mansion. Now imagine a child roaming freely through this storied place. Well, our guest Jennifer says she lived a childhood fantasy until it all came crashing down.
As a 6-year-old, I was roaming around the Playboy Mansion. Everything was just a roller coaster ride. Hardcore drugs, orgies, what I went through has left an imprint on me for the rest of my life. So my father was an internist and diagnostician. People would call him Doc or Dr. Feelgood. He was Hefner's doctor and very good friend, starting from the early 70s all the way, until Hef passed. So as a child, I was more drawn to living with my father, of course, because he was living at the Playboy Mansion. Stepping into the Playboy Mansion at a young age, it was like a magical kingdom. Candy bowls everywhere, butlers, drivers, beautiful people. At age 6, I would walk into these scenarios where people were in the grotto, involved in group sex. And I would open up another door and I would see people doing cocaine, Quaalude, shots of heroin, Demerol. I mean, it was just sort of a normal thing to do. And starting around 10, my father created a drawer for me in the bathroom that was filled with various prescription medications, Vicodins, Percocets, Xanax for anxiety, and Halcyon for sleep. By 11, I was very addicted to these prescription medications. At the Playboy Mansion, it was a cult-like mentality. The loyalty was always supposed to be to the men, not to the women. I was told they're more like the help. So when I would question my father about some of these older men kissing these really young girls and have French kissing me, he would remind me of the culture of thinking up there. I thought it was weird as a child. I just knew like most men didn't kiss like that. By the time I was 14, I became very close to Hugh Hefner's girlfriend. She was in her early 20s. I remember starting off in the game room, playing Pac-Man, and then we ordered strawberry daiquiris, and that led into my first sexual encounter with a woman. So as I started this secret love affair, I started to amp up the amount of cocaine I was doing, the amount of sleeping pills I was taking at night, the amount of Xanax, and by age 16, I was doing so much blow that I had to have a nose job just so that I could, try to breathe clearly again. So I was 17 and my father and Hef were really desperate to end my affair, and they ended up orchestrating an orgy, and my father ended up having sex with her, and I walked in on them. It just felt like such a betrayal. I was so devastated, got in my car, ended up getting in a horrible car accident and waking up in a hospital with flowers by my bed and a note from my father. I told you she was a whore. After that, my life got very out of control. I went to my father's friend's house, and his good friend ended up drugging me and undressing me, then went to the edge of the bed and just, pleased himself looking at me. And that was just horrific. I just remember feeling like, I can't believe this is like my life. Like I have nowhere to turn, nowhere to go. I really needed to get out of that house.